Hi Leos, welcome to your monthly reading. This is Tarot-blee Accurate. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new, welcome. I hope that you like the videos, that you subscribe, and you leave comments or feedback. And for those of you who are already doing it, I appreciate it so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then also to show my appreciation, if you've been to the Patreon site that I just started, I don't know that I've really made it tremendously something that you'd be aware of, but I'm going to show even more appreciation there. And the way that what this is all about basically is instead of doing 3 or 4 readings a month on YouTube, I'm still going to do the generals and the love readings, okay? But for each sign, that's like 48 readings a month that I'm doing for free, and it's a lot. So I'm moving over the bonus readings, the pyramid readings, angel readings, stop, drop, and roll readings, all of those over there. So feel free to check it out. If you're not into that, then that's cool too. I'll still be here, and we'll just get started with your general reading. We're going to do the areas of career and finance, home, friends, close family, and then also your love life, your whether you're coupled or if you're single. But just generally, there's a couple cards that are jumping out. So this is for, I don't know where it'll resonate in your life yet, but we have the 4 of Wands. So finally, after this last month and a half or so of some crazy bullshit that's been going on, I think it's astrological, I don't know, it was like a massive push for all signs. Finally this month, September 3rd through October 3rd, getting some footing, some stability happening, and then happiness coming from that. So that's really good. Your challenge here, though, is to get excited and enthusiastic, because change is hard. It's good to finally get to that place of settling, but maybe you need a rest, because this card here, the Knight of Wands, is like new ideas and acting on them and being very excited and enthusiastic. Look at that outfit. You know what I mean? This could be going out, having a good time, and it's maybe is a challenge for you because you're just fucking exhausted. But let me tell you this. You need to have a little fun sometimes. Otherwise, that card wouldn't have shown up. So if that resonates for you, maybe it's just for one of you. I guess that was important. So what's going on? Oh, one more thing. It said, keep your eyes open for help that's available to you, and then also take advantage of help that's available to you. Some of you might have a hard time saying, yes, I'll take your help. And then this guy here, where you might be focused on kind of what's right in front of you, which makes me think that last card maybe isn't not being able to take advantage of help that people offer, but more not even seeing resources, people, businesses, things like that that can help you out, make your life better. You just don't see them, even though they might be right in front of you. So this is saying, don't stop looking right in front of you and kind of see the bigger picture, the bigger world, what else is out there, okay? So here we go. What is it that Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising need to know September 3rd through October 3rd in regards to career and finances? Okay, so some of you have made a decision, okay, here's the deal. You were having a hard time making a decision about what you were going to do in regards to your career and your finances. Now, you've made the decision in your mind, but you haven't quite executed it yet. And I feel like this is because you want to be financially secure. So for some of you, it would be afraid to invest in something, not knowing whether or not it's going to pay off. But your main goal here is, financial security. Duh. I mean, it's just funny because that's what the card means, and we're doing career and finances. Obviously, that's your goal. But you also want to be happy too. And I feel like maybe some of you are kind of just concerned that, if you start this new project, if you make this decision and you follow it through, you could be, it could suck the happiness out of you. Like I said, with that challenge card there before, with that Knight of Wands, maybe you just don't have enough time for fun, things like that. But right now, your focus is very, very much on career, stability, finance, things like that, So, I mean, is it reasonable to be afraid to follow that through. I'm going to say 50-50 on this. Some of you, if it seems like it's going to be a lot of work to take something new on, ultimately it's going to make you unhappy because you're already working really, 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 really hard. Okay, so what's going on in your home? And this could be like your actual home or just like the environment in your home if you don't live on your own. Ooh, trying to balance things out. Now, we did start with that Four of Wands, which is about, finding some stability. Maybe it's a new home, something like that, after a lot of drama in the last month and a half or so. But this is you trying to juggle things, maybe trying to juggle the responsibilities of like keeping a house clean and, taking care of pets, all that stuff when you're working so hard. So what else do we have this month? Things are going to work out fairly, but also more than that, the message is that you need to be fair to yourself. So if you're really, really working very hard, it wouldn't be a bad idea to pay someone to clean your house. I mean, you're kind of concerned, like obviously you're chasing that dollar and you're like, I don't know about that expense, but it'd be a good time to do that. And it's cute because this little card, the Four of Wands, just flashed up and went back in the deck. And so it's saying, that will make you feel more comfortable where you're living. But, right now you just have too many plates in the air. Like you're juggling, trying to find that balance. That could really be helpful. So, or someone to cut the grass, someone to, well, I guess we wouldn't be moving snow yet, but, something like that. I mean, you never know in October. Maybe Alaska gets that. Sometimes we get snow in October here in Minnesota. Let's knock on some wood and hope that we don't. It's already getting cold. Okay, what's going on in your close friendships? Oh, good. So feeling safe and secure within your friendships. Some of you might have had some friendships or relationships recently where there was maybe there was lies, maybe there was suspicion, maybe you just weren't getting along, and just being really honest and communicating a lot better in your friendships this month. And, not going out so much, not really partying, celebrating, drinking, things like that. You might not be spending enough time with your friends. So I think that's why we started this whole reading with that Knight of Wands as a challenge, because, it's saying maybe you have to do that. You have to have a little bit more fun. But the hindrance might be, really deep, good communication about, I feel like for some of you, this is also relationships, like romantic relationships. Like saying, okay, you know what? Like maybe earlier in the year we were going out a lot, and fact is, got to buckle down at work, and maybe we were partying too hard. Now I don't want to go out at all. And just having those conversations. Yeah, that's exactly what this is here. Okay. Now we're going to move on. Whoa. Oh, so for some of you, this is really great because this is saying it's like a new beginning. It's like a new way of life. It's a new adventure. Now, wands are definitely things that are new, creative, inspired, right? But I don't know if you see how many leaves are here. It's much more than on most of the Wands card. So this is saying, if you're able to do that and just kind of, so for some of you, this might be like a past relationship. Maybe you broke up for a period of time, started focusing on work. If you're getting back together, this would be like, now the relationship has time to grow. Like you've gone through some stuff, you had a good conversation, and it would be okay to get back in that because it has a lot of growth potential. Now for others of you, it's just saying like new opportunities are coming, like if that doesn't resonate, with a lot of growth potential, okay? And this could also be new friendships, just based on the way that it came out in this read. So we're going to do love life now, and we're going to start with single Leos. What's going on for you single Leos, October 3rd through September 3rd, and this could be your sun, moon, or rising. Oh boy, they want to talk. Okay, first thing, having to make a decision and not really knowing what to do. It's like really, you probably know deep inside what to do, but you're having a hard time making the choice. And there's a challenge here because of money stability, happiness that brings into your life to make this decision. It's almost like you're concerned that if you go with one choice, it threatens this, okay? And right now, it's like your focus might just be on your own stability, your own happiness. Like, what makes you happy as a single individual? Like, you know, without somebody. Like, what does happiness look for you on your own? Like, what makes you feel comfortable? What makes you feel stable? Like, all of those sort of things. It's very earth energy, like the practicality of things for you. What else for single Leos? The Queen and the King. So if you are one of those that I mentioned, you know, maybe somebody coming back from the past, that might also be their priority right now. So you're like, why even get back together at this point in time? But you can't quite walk away from them. So you might still be texting, you might still be talking here and there, and then kind of like, oh my gosh, is this even good for me? But for the rest of you who've been single for a while and that didn't come back, although, you know, I think we're in a retrograde, in a Mercury retrograde, that stuff, I mean, those lovers come right back. It's about just finding balance. Like, this month is really a good month for you kind of to get your footing and to focus on, you know, what you need. And I feel like that started maybe a little bit in the last month because it's saying as the month progresses, you don't need to work as hard, okay? You got to take a little break here. And and so it's saying, you know, really listen to that, really follow that guidance because you're not being fair to yourself. You're having a hard time being fair to yourself. Like, you might be working yourself to exhaustion, things like that. So, you know, you might not even have to, you might feel like also, oh, I don't have time to date. I wouldn't be fair to the other person because I just don't even have the mental space to deal with this. And, you know, but then the other side of you, when we're looking at that Two of Swords, when it's like, I don't know what to do. It's like, I also don't want to grow old either, like not having spent time looking for, you know, my soulmate, for a person to spend my life with. So it says, you know, by the time we get to October 3rd, if you're in this situation, ultimately you're going to make the decision. Now, it's a general reading, so the decision might be different for each of you. But it says, you know, if you really can't decide, you need to choose you. And it's more important for you to be fair to yourself and figure out, you know, how to be happy as a single on your own and create an environment, you know, of your own stability and things like that. So by law of attraction, you know, you're attracting somebody else who's also got their shit together, right? You don't want to be with somebody who's like a fucking wreck. It just makes your life harder. So as a challenge, some of you are having a very difficult time walking away from somebody that you care about, but you need to, right? And now you are single, but it's like, what I mean by this is emotionally, okay? You might meet, you're single, like you probably broke up, like you said, hey, this is what I need. My needs are not being fulfilled. Like, I'm not happy right now, but emotionally you're still stuck there. Like, you still care. And it's, you wanted to be happy and excited. Like, your gut intuition probably told you to leave them, and it wasn't wrong to leave them, okay? Even if you're leaving them for a temporary amount of time or you're leaving them forever, your gut instincts told you to do this, and that was you following your divine guidance. But the challenge is in getting passionate and excited about leaving, like totally cutting that cord. If you can't do that, if you want to do that, I made a cord of attachment video that you can see here on YouTube. The other thing is that you're having a very difficult time asserting what it is that you need, what it is that you want, having conversations, you know, about like, this is what things look like, and realistically, like, this is what I need, and, you know, it was just kind of a new start. You just kind of want to wipe the slate clean and start again. Okay, so for those of you who are coupled Leos, September 3rd through October 3rd, Sun, Moon, or Rising, what do we have? So if you're coupled, you might be feeling like your relationship is just falling below expectations. Like it didn't end up to be as much as you wished for. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not happy, but it's just like your wishes aren't coming true. So this could be a matter of, number one, timing. You know, maybe by now you thought you'd be married and have like a bunch of kids with your partner. Number two, maybe you thought that, you know, your partner would show you more love in the way that you understand it, and they're just not. Number three, maybe you thought they'd finally get a job and they didn't. I mean, it could be anything, but there's just, it's not necessarily disappointment, but it sort of is. It's like, it wasn't the way that you fantasized about it being. It wasn't what you had really hoped for, whether you expected it or not. Like your hopes, your dreams, your desires aren't quite being met. And it's okay to be honest with them about that. You know, to be very secure and just very firm and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling, and realistically, like, this is how I see things, and, you know, can we fix this, or is it time to walk away, that sort of thing. But some of you are not having that conversation because you feel stuck. So maybe you have kids together, maybe you're afraid of being alone, maybe you're afraid you'll never meet somebody that you love, like, because even though, you know, it's not meeting, you know, it's not, you're not entirely unhappy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So you're feeling very tied to them. Maybe you have shared checking, I don't know. But you see these chains here around their necks? They're big, right? They can slip them right off their head and walk away. They're not as tied to this as they feel like they do. Maybe you're addicted to being in a relationship. You like the comfort and predictability of having somebody there, but you can walk away if your needs are not being met. It's just for whoever this is for, because this is a general reading, maybe this is not everybody, but for whoever this is for specifically, if this is resonating for you, it's saying you're not following your own gut instincts to find your happiness. Because if this was this way, this is a person like coming from an emotional place, going towards the moon and the sun, you know, which is their divinely guided intuition. So the moon, right? But the sun is like so much happiness and joy that it's literally raining sunshine. I don't know if you see that, okay? So it's like you're not doing that. You're not following your gut instincts and acting accordingly. And some of that is because you're worried about what these little guys have to yap and say, right? What other people are going to say about it, what they think about it. But really, you have to do what's right for you, right? What's going to make you happy. And like, if you're not happy in your relationship, then it's time to leave. It just is. But you're not doing it. You know, you have two cards here saying that your gut instinct's telling you to, but you're like, oh, I'm trapped. I can't get out of here for one reason or another, when actually you can. This is saying that if you're staying there and you need to go, it's not because you're selfish. It's because you're afraid that you'll never be emotionally fulfilled. Like, you're not being emotionally fulfilled right now because your wishes and dreams aren't coming true, right? But you're afraid that you'll never meet someone better. When it's this way, it's like things are stable and you kind of wonder, you know, what's across that desert, but you're like, I don't know if I want to cross that desert because it's hard to cross a desert. You get thirsty, you get tired, it's hot, it's, you know, it's challenging for something that's a risk, but it's this way, and it's like saying that you just you're not even thinking about it, you know? It's like you already know, like, I don't want to fucking deal with it, like having to meet new people, like how much time do I need myself first? Do I even want to be alone? Do I want to leave this because it's kind of good, but it's kind of bad? Like, so the Lover's card is all about choices. Some of you are saying in a coupled relationship because the sex is amazing, but what this is saying is that, you know, it's like the predictability, like knowing what to expect, the way that things have gone, you know, traditionally, how things have been, in some way gives you confidence and strength. Like, it's good for you to know, you know, how each day is going to go and like kind of what the future holds more or less. So you're staying put. And it's like, but you're also not putting in romantic effort either, or at least not as much as you used to. Okay. So what's your advice here aside from that? Just, you know, whatever used to work for you in the past, keep doing that. Now, for the rest of you who are in coupled relationships, but that didn't apply to you, because I really don't feel like that was the majority. It is maybe like 50%. The rest of you, feeling really, really, really confident. This is a good month for you where you're just kind of exuding your sexiness, like maybe having more sex, like your partner is looking at you like you are the most attractive person in the whole wide world and you are the sunshine of my life and you're funny and you're fun, and you might be a little bit suspicious of that. But it's saying caution yourself not to be a bitch. Just take the compliments and be like, thank you so, so much. You're right. I'm awesome. But I feel like for some of you who are coupled, it's like you're waiting within the relationship for things to move to the next level, and you feel like you're waiting forever and ever and ever. Like, when is this motherfucker going to propose to me? And unfortunately, it's just going to take you, it's going to take longer than you want it to. I don't necessarily see that this month is a general reading, so what? No, who knows? But this is saying, you know, don't let like the nastiness come out of you. Just like appreciate like your relationship as it is at this point in time. You've got to get more sleep too, because if you don't get more sleep, you have more potential to get crabby and then just like snap on a bitch. It's just saying like your relationship at this point in time is not going to be blazing ahead like at super hyper speed. It just isn't. The divine timing isn't there, and it's making you really fucking sad. And what this card is telling you is not to focus on the lack and the disappointment and, you know, that kind of stuff. Focus on what is good, though, in the relationship. Like, the parts of the relationship that make you happy. Like, what are you grateful for that does exist, instead of being all worried about what it is that you want for the future. But then others of you, like, you're going to also have to think about, too, when you're thinking in terms of the future and what you want, like, do I want what's in front of me? Or do I want something bigger than that? Because the world is really big. You know, like, your partner might be this little globe in your hand, but there's a big whole world out there. So I'm not encouraging anyone to break up. I would never do that, you know, because it's great to be in love, right? But this is just like kind of wake up call and like, what can you take? And, you know, is it good enough right now? So if you feel like it's good enough right now, if you can do that, don't walk away. That's what that's saying. You really shouldn't walk away, but you have to express more gratitude for the things that are good. Focus on the details of like what your partner does, things that you might not notice. For example, I was real mad, kind of making up and breaking up with my ex-boyfriend last year over and over and over. And then New Year's, I had a gold and black dress for New Year's, and he went shopping and took for fucking ever, and then he finally comes home, and I'm like, okay, we gotta go, let's get this show on the road, you know, like, where have you been all day? Shopping. And he had a gold and black jacket, and I laughed and said, you look like a game show host, like Guy Smiley from Sesame Street. And, you know, like, he was kind of hurt because he bought it to be sweet to match my dress. I didn't even see that, you know? So that's the kind of example that I'm talking about, where it's like, you really need to just focus on the little details, things that you might overlook, like really compliment them on their efforts, especially if they're an air sign. They need that. It says, oh, so it just says, you know, it's like challenging to move forward right now. And so this could be that actual move. This could be a, like I was saying, you know, like taking your relationship to the next level. But this could also be to communicate and get your relationship from a place where it's choppy, you know, like back and forth, up and down, here and there, love and hate, to a place of like peace and tranquility. That's where you're at this month. So how do you get there? Just don't talk about it. It's kind of like one of these months, like keep your mouth shut. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. All right, sweethearts. Thank you so much for watching this. If you'd like a private reading, all of my contact information is in the description box below. And then if you are looking for those extra videos, you'll find them on the Patreon site, and that is also in the description box below. And then one last thing here. It says, you know, just try to show more acts of love, and especially if your partner's love language is words of affirmation, like I was saying, you know, noticing those details, or acts of service, like those little things that they do, and really praise the fuck out of them for it. Okay, bye.